There's a story that's been around for thousands of years, and honestly, it's still one of the most relevant things today in a world full of potential. I see it as a guide for leading ourselves and others toward meaningful progress. It's called the Parable of the Talents. And at its heart, it's about a really simple question. What do you do with what you've been given? Not just money, your time, your opportunities, your talents. Let's dive right into it. Imagine this. A successful businessman is packing up to go on a long business trip. Before he leaves, he calls three his most trusted servant to his table. He doesn't hand out equal shares to them, but based on what he knows of their capabilities. He looks at the first servant, the most capable and experienced servant, and hands him 5 bags of talents. We're talking a fortune, years of wages in one handoff. To the second servant, he handed 2 bags of talents, still significant, still a real vote of confidence. And to the third servant, he gives 1 bag of talent, based on his ability and performance. He doesn't give detailed instructions or checklist, he simply trusts them to take charge of the talents given to each of them. And off he goes. Now here's where it gets interesting. The first servant, he gets to work. He enters the market, takes smart risks, builds something real. He doubled his 5 bags of talent to 10 bags. The second servant, he does the same thing in his own way. Networking, calculated moves, steady effort. His 2 talents become 4. But the third servant, he's scared. He doesn't invest. He doesn't try. He goes out into the forest, digs a hole, and buries his bag of talent. It sits there buried in dirt, safe, letting it sit idle. No growth, no action, just preservation out of fear. Time passes, months, maybe years. And then the boss comes home from his long business trip. He calls them to his table one by one. The first servant steps up. Well, boss, I turned my 5 bags of talents into 10. And the boss lights up. Outstanding. You've earned my trust, and now I can entrust you with even bigger responsibility. The master calls out the second servant. He answered, I doubled mine too. 2 bags became 4 bags. The master was happy and says, well done. You took initiative, and that's exactly what I needed from you. Then the third servant walks in, nervous. He pulls out his bag, still full, not a coin added, and lays it on the table. I knew you were too tough and expect results. I was scared of failing, so I kept it buried to keep it safe. Here it is, exactly as you gave it. The businessman's expression changes, not of anger, but disappointment. Then he answered, if you knew I expected growth, why didn't you at least put it in a bank? Even that would have been something. What you did was just lazy and fearful. The businessman took the bag from him and gave it to the first servant, and the third servant was dismissed. So what's the real takeaway here? The talents in this story aren't just gold, they're you. Your ideas, your abilities, your windows of opportunity. And the parable is asking, are you investing them or burying them? The 2 servants who doubled their share didn't have magic powers. They had courage. They were willing to try, to risk being wrong, to show up and work with what they had. Think about it in everyday terms. Maybe you have a new idea at work. Do you pitch it or talk yourself out of it before you even start? Maybe you have a skill you've been sitting on, something creative, something technical, something uniquely yours. Are you building it or just holding on to it? Even small moves count. Start somewhere. Here's a challenge to you. Identify 1 talent, 1 thing you have that you've been playing it safe with, and take 1 step with it today. Not a perfect plan, not a guarantee, just 1 step. Because the world grows when people invest in what we've been given. And it starts with you. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, share, and follow for more videos like this.